I'm sincere in that I'm honored to have been called by this company. I could have said no. Many people could have been called. But I said yes. And I'm equally honored that those of you that I invited are here tonight. It's significant to me that I thought enough about your talents and abilities that I asked you to be part of this with me. Because I didn't help everybody in my former company make a lot of money. But I did help a lot of people make a lot of money. And I feel really good about that. But this is a different animal. And I think that if you see what I see, maybe tonight or in a couple of days, whatever information is that you need, you could be in a position, if you really understand, to do some amazing things for you and your family. So we're going to talk a little bit about the compensation so you can understand that tonight. And then I'm going to come back up, close out the room, and then those who want to stay afterwards for a little quick start training, we'll do about 20 minutes, shows you how to get started, how to really launch your business. But I want to bring Mr. Judd Mintz. Now, Mr. Mintz is one of the co-founders. Matter of fact, when I talk about the co-founders, there's 5 co-founders, but 3 of them are family. There's the dad, Steve Mintz, Judd, and Damon. And I got to work with them in our former company. They came in, I was in that company for almost 10 years. And I met them somewhere around my 5th or 6th year in the company. So they kind of came in at the back end of my career in the company. But they were the kingpins of getting gas and electric in their area. They were great at it. And their family has such a tremendous reputation in their area and credibility that it was easy to see by being around. You know, I can tell people are respected by the way the people who worked with them treated and talked about it. The integrity was there, so there was no doubt in my mind that when they called me and said, would you like to be part of this, there was never be a question of their integrity or who they are. I would like to work with them because I saw the way they already handled themselves already. The idea is that the business side of it came and they talked about who's on the backside of this company, the financial back end of this company. I feel so secure about where we're going and what's going to happen. The fact is, when Judd in our old company was one of the best trainers in the entire company, probably close to 1 million reps in the company, and has the reputation to be for the best trainer in the entire company. And that's why our company has grown so fast in a short period of time, 2,000 reps. Because the training, he already put it together, put it on the website, so that anybody could get in the company just has to point and play, point and play, point and play. You don't have to invent anything. When I got in with the experience that I have, I said, really, I want to create this type of video, this type of video, this type of video. And then I opened up the website and went, I don't have to create anything. It's already there. Just hit play. This is great. Absolutely great. It's so easy. Yeah, I said, we joke around, I said, compare shooting in North Dakota if I can build this business with what's already on the website. What's already there, I don't have to do anything. So it's my privilege because these guys said their word. They said, Chuck, help us build Baltimore. We'll come help you launch it. Sure enough, they're here. I've done my part. I think we got 50 people in the room tonight. I guarantee we have 50 people in the room tomorrow night. We're going to put a bunch of people who are going to say, yes, we're going to do this. And they're here. So far, so good, right? Yeah, here we are ready to get this thing going. But I want you guys to do a great, warm, Baltimore welcome, Mr. Judd Mintz.
When we did get started in another company, we would go to the events and brand new people, and I guess our whole team were sitting next to each other. Me, my dad, my brother. That was our entire team. And we would go get trained in front of tens of thousands of people, and the individuals doing the training was Mr. Chuck Hall. So we actually learned so much from him. He was a legend in that company. And so to see what he did in that company, I think he had over 27,000 representatives on his team. So you can imagine hundreds of thousands of customers. He was already there when we joined, getting our first introduction to this industry. So to see what he did in that company, but more importantly, foreshadowing what he's going to do here. I mean, it's if you could guarantee anything, if that was possible, I would guarantee that. It's kind of like tomorrow's newspaper today, what you're going to see here based on what Mr. Chuck Hall is going to do. I believe he'll do a lot more with us than he did because that was his introduction to the industry, learning from scratch. He's bringing all the expertise and experience of what he's already done to what we believe is the most simple network marketing approach there is with gas and electricity. So imagine what he's going to do, not just here in Baltimore, but throughout the country, and those that be a part of it. And again, 5 years from now, no one, a year from now, 6 months from now, no one will have the opportunity that you guys have. And I know the people that grab his coattails are going to the top of them because when you see and understand how this works, Chuck Hall can't do it by himself. He's going to have to take a lot of people with him. And I know that foundation that's built here will override those 27, 50, 100,000 representatives, no doubt about it. So you guys don't understand, maybe some of you do, but many of you don't understand the position you're in, not just because of our company and what we're going to do anyway, but because of the kind of leadership you have, Mr. Chuck Hall, if you just get it and follow his lead. So can we please hand it back to Chuck Hall? When I looked at this industry over 10 years ago, I mean, there's so much money to be made. There's companies out there that most of us maybe wouldn't even want to sell the products, right? And there's people making millions, just based on the approach, based on the model. You know, and obviously with gas and electricity, we've created kind of a no-brainer in that. But when I saw not just the incomes being made, but the lifestyles that were created based on that concept of residual income, I had to get a piece. There was no way I was going to pass that up, because would you guys agree most people have a job or own a company and they trade their time for money? They exchange hours for dollars. Someone decides what their time's worth and they pay them, and it's never enough, and you know how that works, right? But the problem is, no matter how much money you make, as soon as you stop working, what happens to the money? Whether you choose to stop working or you can't work or you get hurt, whatever the reasons being, you're not really building equity. And even if you own your own company, if you don't show up, does that company run? No. And your employees aren't going to work hard if you're not there. It's, you know, they'll steal from you less if they like you, right? So the reality is that you can never stop. There's the catch. It's not even the amount of money you can make. It's what's the lifestyle attached to it. Do you have freedom to be able to do what you want, to be able to travel, to be able to spend quality time? You know, those are the important things. That's how I looked at this when I saw this 10 years ago. That's what I saw. I was a broke bartender with a college degree 10 years ago. So I wasn't used to making a lot of money. So I figured, gosh, if I could just replace this little bartending income, but it was going to come in every month, whether I worked or not, because I worked hard for a season. To me, that was wealth. How many people here think that would be wealth? If you could replace what you make now, whether it's a lot or a little, whatever it is, and every month you knew for a fact it was coming in, who here would live differently? I mean, it'd be great, right? That was my mindset. Then I got the vision, there's a lot of money to be made as well. But the concept of residual income is what caught my attention. So we're going to kind of start based on that. You guys have all heard that concept before, but what I like to tell people is if you don't make residual income right now, you don't know what it is. Because there's no way you can make it and ever go back to trading time for money if you ever experience what that concept would be. And our residual income is based on people paying a bill that's not going away. Like Chuck was saying, I mean, gas is not a trend. It's not the year of gas, and next year we might do something else, right? Electricity isn't the cool thing to do today. So we know that that's not changing. 100 years ago, same gas as we're going to use 100 years from now. Telecom obviously changed. You communicate differently today than you did 10, 15 years ago. And who knows what it'll be 10, 15 years from now. So we got something that's not only recession-proof and a necessity, it's not going to change. It's not going to go anywhere, and it's gas is as green as you can get. So how many people here think the environment would be good to do something to take care of the environment, right? So our focus is on that as well. But the residual income is the exciting part. Now, if you get started with the company, who do you think is going to be your first gas and electricity customer? Yourself. Okay. Does anybody here think that we have to sell you on saving money and getting paid on your own bill? So can we just assume that's a given? You're probably going to become your own customer. You can acquire as many customers as you want. There's no limit, whether it's residential, small business, commercial, industrial, whatever that is. You can acquire as many as you want, as quickly as you want. And what we did is we came up with a concept because starting this, you're going to hear more about this from my brother who's going to really give you the vision of the company and why we started and where we're going. But we didn't have an idea to start a company. That was the last thing we wanted to do. We wanted to find a company that we could be a part of as reps. It's much more fun being a representative, much more simple. But we just couldn't find that as we were looking around. So we decided, well, I guess we have to start our own company if we can't find that. And the concept of shared revenue I'm going to talk about is what's the fairest way we can be in business with our representatives? Because we don't exist without you. We have to be in partnership together. And we wanted everyone to know in the field that if we did better as a company, we wanted the field to do better. Would you say that's a pretty good concept?
Yes.
Most business owners probably don't think like that. If we make more money, let's pay people more in their salaries. That's not usually the mindset of a traditional business, right? So ours, we want that. And we said, how can we guarantee that without just words? Because in a sense, talk's cheap, right? So shared revenue is the concept. Every market we go into, we have suppliers. And we have different commission deals with each supplier. So how many people here know people outside of Maryland? Okay. So imagine if we had 10 different compensation plans for every market based on our supplier deals. It would be a nightmare for you to learn all these different things. And obviously you wouldn't, well, I'll explain this first. So we use this shared revenue concept where every single market from every customer that pays their bill, we get